Hello and welcome, and happy Thanksgiving! Tonight we are the captains of the SS Gravy Boat. We have some Campbell's gravy in a can and some cranberry whole berry sauce just for you. We are so excited that you're sharing your Thanksgiving with us. Thank you! This is Sauce Spoken.
And we're back. We are Sauce Spoken. We're the podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host, and I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Hello! Happy Thanksgiving to you. We hope that you are in just as much of a tryptophan coma as we are, or at least try to be, all year round. And to my right, I'm so excited for this gag. I can't.
Oh, geez.
I can't brace myself. But yeah, so the guy down at the docks during his fighting days, they used to call him Old Dishwater Eric. But we don't talk about that chapter anymore. But anyway, here's our co-host and friend, E. Hi, E.
There were some wild times.
I was going to say, with this holiday come up, he can be Turkey.
Turkey.
Ah, there we go.
I couldn't come up with anything off of your bit. That would throw me out of left field a little bit.
It's fighting days.
Fighting days are a bit past me, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Love this weather. Beautiful fall weather. The days are in the mid-60s. The nights are nice and cool.
Darkness has set upon us by 5 o'clock.
Yes, yeah, the darkness is not cool.
Tori's wife is livid.
The vampires are out roaming the streets.
Maybe that's why I'm happy. The vampires are.
And Amy's livid. You're always happy when other people are bad.
Yeah, why is Amy so grumpy?
She doesn't like it when daylight savings change. It messes her all up. She doesn't like it. She's been very vocal about this in the past.
You nailed it. I've been really busy at work, so I just hear other coworkers being like,
and now it's time to catch up with the hosts.
Time to catch up.
Sort of startled me there.
Eric, how was your week this week?
He's loud like that. It's been good.
Woke you up at least.
Yeah, work's been busy. I've been going out a lot. Got to play a new board game this week.
You've been so busy.
I got to try
so much going on. You didn't have any time to do anything else. You had no spare time the entire past week. True
Just living my life to the fullest. What can I say? I've been getting stuff done.
Living life.
You know.
He's taken no naps whatsoever.
I haven't taken
hasn't watched any TV.
I watched 1 hour of TV so far. And
what'd you watch? What'd you spend your precious 1 hour on?
My 1 hour? I've been watching The Marvelous Life of Mrs. Maisel. Tell you what, though.
What the fuck is that?
Boy, you have 1 hour and you wasted on that.
The what?
I can see why it's an Emmy award-winning show. It is pretty damn good. It's been out for 3 years. I figured finally, I guess, I've reached the bottom of what to watch.
Up with this shit?
Tori knows
the
it.
Diaries of Miss Maisel? What was this shit called?
Enough to know. I know enough to know that I'll hate it.
It doesn't sound like something I would ever watch.
Yeah, it's not something I was, like I said, really interested in watching, but my sister watched it, and she's like, oh, it's really funny, it is good, and I know it kept winning all these awards, so I just thought, well, I'd give it a shot. So,
yeah? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Generally, thumbs up. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Okay.
You kind of have to
warm... That's what got his 1 hour this week, Tori.
You have to warm up to
it. His only hour of free time, the one singular hour of his free time this entire past week.
Man,
that's what he chose to spend it on.
Burning the candle at both ends.
I think the first couple episodes are a little slow. So, anyways, got to play Mystic Vale, though, on Monday with my other game group. That was really fun. We had a bunch of venison. So their nephew bagged a nice 8-point buck, and they've been processing it down into venison sausage and venison jerky and
yeah, jerky's where it's at for venison. That makes a good jerky.
And we also smoked some chickens and like chicken breasts, I guess. And what else do we have on that smoker? Just more sausages, yeah. Hot sausages along with the venison. So it was quite a good evening. A lot of good food, good games. Mystic Vale was off the chart, amazing. I had been actually afraid of it, kind of. I heard that it was hard to get to the table and hard to play, but it really wasn't that bad. It was a create your own deck builder. So you build your own deck as you play.
Kind of like a Dominion type game.
We like them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think we'd jam on it a lot. But it was also like the that Canvas game with the transparent cards.
Oh, you love that.
I like it. I know you guys didn't.
Weird. Yeah, that's a little much.
So there's a whole, like, the way you buy your cards out there on the table, your deck is like 27 cards or something like that you're building. We all have our own 27 card deck.
Okay.
But it doesn't grow in volume. When you buy cards, they slide in to a pre-existing card, and they all stack up in layers. Again, just like Canvas, maximum of 3. So you just keep adding effects to your same 27 cards.
Okay.
You need a pretty big sleeve for all those.
It is a big sleeve,
You need quite an XL card condom sleeve.
Sorry, I just had to fish my eyes back out of the head. They rolled back there so far fucking back
Your
there.
retina's disengaged.
Woof. Yeah. Yikes. And or sleeve them cards.
But the game provides it, so that's what another thing that I like. You know, a game that comes
that's a
with
reason
its
to
own
buy
sleeves.
it all on its
Come
own.
with
Yeah,
its
that's
sleeves.
really... Honestly, you're saving money at that point, Tori.
That's right.
You got to remember that.
You'd be silly not to have
You'd
it.
be losing money if you didn't buy the game, really, because it comes with its own sleeves.
Wow.
It was a great game.
So this was, I would imagine, a Kickstarter?
Mystic Veil? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. No, too old. It came out in 2011. Well, Kickstarter started around
Kickstarter was
2011.
definitely around there, I feel like.
I feel like somewhere around 2010, 2011. It may have been Kickstarted. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got me. If it wasn't for you,
Incredible.
I'm convinced I would never would have heard of Kickstarter ever in my life.
I wouldn't know anyone else that bought anything off it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Tori? How was your week this week?
Well, I'm pretty excited. I got a new sauce for next week. That came in
Nice.
the mail, so I'm not going to disclose it.
We'll tease it for the listeners.
However, what I will disclose is what also I needed to buy in order to get free shipping from Amazon.
Oh,
Because I'm not one of them suckers that buy Prime,
Okay.
you know?
I'm a sucker.
So, and I'll get to my $50 one way or another. It's freaking Amazon,
Right.
right? So I had to buy some parts, you know, for this project I got going. So okay, there's $12, whatever. And of course, the sauce shall
Yep.
remain nameless was, you know, whatever,
$8.
handful of bucks. Yeah, under the $50. So what I did buy was a dryer, you know, as in like your clothes dryer,
Yes.
an attachment that goes on the end of your vacuum so you can suck out all that lint
Oh,
in the dryer
very good.
and in that exhaust tube.
You're not looking to like burn your house down for the insurance money?
Preferably not. No, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be the one to set it at the opportune time
Nice.
to do so. Yeah, I don't want any surprises when it comes to arson.
I think that's a good key thing because I know a couple episodes ago you reminded the listeners to change out their furnace filters.
It's important.
Also a good idea, especially if you've never had it done in your house, go ahead and clean out the old dryer tube going
Yeah.
from the back of your dryer out the back of your house, because if that thing gets clogged or say a squirrel runs up there and dies,
Stink bug city. It's like a stink bug.
it's loaded.
It's loaded, dude.
Loaded for bear.
Yeah, think about it, man.
And,
it's warm. Ooh.
That's true. And that is actually a big source of house fires, is people never clean those out, especially if there's like a little kink in the line or something like that. It gets filled up with lint. Can't go anywhere, and especially it'll make your clothes dry a lot faster too if you have
No
that thing
doubt.
cleared out.
That's true. Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely. It doesn't take. It's not that hard either to go ahead and just pop that little hose clamp off of there and suck that puppy dry either. So
This little gizmo, you may remember, it was sort of a Muppet cartoon from back in the day. Sort of like, oh, damn it. They were like Muppet creatures, and it was for a little kid, and they lived in a cave. What the hell was their name? You got a sweatshirt of one of their characters.
I do.
Yeah, with that goofy looking monster thing on the front of a black sweater.
Geetus,
Yeah, what was he from?
Land of Ta. He's not a Muppet.
No, but it was some goofy Fraggle Rock.
Oh,
That's what it
okay.
was. But
All
yeah,
right.
so at any rate, this attachment on the end of your vacuum cleaner looks like one of them characters, like an anteater, you know, with the hell ass long nose.
Have you seen the Teletubbies vacuum? Does that ring a bell to you? The
Yes.
little thing looks kind of like an Eeyore with a long snout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, sort of
the
big on that.
Suckbot 3000.
Yeah. It funnels in as it goes down. So, you know, maybe a new segment, but a little quick product review.
Yeah. Hit
You
us.
know?
Tori's tool review. We haven't
Yeah.
done one of those in quite a while.
So there's the description for you. And I have yet to use it. It's still in the bag. But
Nice.
yeah, it came vis-a-vis the sauce of the week next week, which,
Very good.
yeah.
Which has
tease
a little
that out
something
there.
to do with this month being the turkey month.
It does.
The month of November. What are you looking at? Like, Eric, come on. You know what the sauce is.
I know what the sauce is. What does it have to do with turkey?
Oh,
Are you fucking kidding me?
You are a turkey.
I want the listeners to write this moment down so when the next week comes out, they can understand why I'm asking Eric what the fuck is actually wrong with him.
You are.
I had forgotten the name of the sauce. Okay. I think it starts with... Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right. The name of the sauce is... Okay. I can see it now.
You're such a goon.
Yeah, you think? Has something to do with turkey, maybe?
Go watch Mr. Maisie or whatever the
It
hell it
has
is.
nothing to do with... I mean, well, I got not saying...
Are you kidding me?
It could be used on turkey.
Oh
It doesn't
my
have
God.
to
No,
be.
I did. It's not to put on turkey, Eric. God damn it, you dumb motherfucker.
Gobble, gobble.
Jesus Christ. Well, anyways, as we mentioned, this is going to be our Thanksgiving episode.
I mean, today is Thanksgiving.
Today, this very day, as a matter of fact, is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
That's right.
Should we release this early? I don't know. You think people will listen on Thanksgiving? They'll gather their family around to listen to the latest episode of Soft Spoken?
Maybe they have a great journey to go. Maybe Grandma's house is on the other side
travel.
of the state. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, yeah, we'll release it on 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thanksgiving morning, Thursday.
That's right. So, I mean,
Today.
if you think about it, that's the biggest drinking day of the year. So come home at 2:30. I think that's reasonable from the bar, wherever you're at.
Yeah. Cruise out to Grandma, grab a couple more beers, rolling out to Grandma's house, crack a couple along the way.
Oh, the booze cruise.
The booze cruise, as Eric is wont to do, the booze cruise from Ohio, get blitzed, and then listen to Soft Spoken and drive home.
I'm going to go even farther than Ohio this time.
He's going to drink even more. No.
That's right. Lots
Soft
of
Spoken
opportunity.
does not condone drunken, inebriated driving in any way, shape, or form.
Nope, no DUI guys here.
But anyways, to get more to the point, not doing any drinking, not on this show, not except for water, that is. But we did do a little bit of eating, and for this very festive occasion, we got a couple holiday favorites. We got ourselves a can, 2 aluminum cans or tins, as it were. One Ocean Spray whole berry cranberry sauce, and the other one, another holiday classic, a Campbell's turkey gravy made with real stock. And just for clarification purposes, this is not a concentrated one. Like, you don't have to mix this. This is ready to go straight out the can.
You can go ahead and put a straw in it if you wish.
Just poke a hole and put your straw in
Just
it.
go ahead.
Perfect. And
Wrap your mind around that, I dare you.
without further ado, as far as that goes, let's go ahead and move on to the visual description of the outside of the containers that we're looking at. I gave us a little bit of a lead in there because I did mention that these are both in tins, and I'm going to give the Ocean Spray one here to Tori, and you're going to have a little bit of a problem doing this visual description, but you can tell listeners why that is.
I'll do my darndest. So here we have a high quality can of cranberry sauce. This can happens to be Ocean Spray. The general majority, I'd say, of this can is white.
Tell the listeners what the issue is. What's making it hard for you right now?
Some bozo put the label on upside down. So the end that would normally be up, say on the shelf that interlocks with the bottom, of course, of the other one, is all cattywampus.
Yes.
So
you're looking at it upside down, trying to describe it here.
I'm doing my darndest not to ruin E's high quality table.
It wasn't clear to me, though. There might be a little water there, so watch that.
I know,
But it wasn't clear to me if they did that intentionally or if that was an accident, because, well, I know this is getting on to a little bit of the physical description, but everyone knows the traditional way that, the cranberry sauce comes out of the can. I wonder if it was like you turn the can upside down to get it out, and that's why you're looking at the label like that, right side up. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or you think it's just a mistake?
I think it's a lot of thought to put in something that's going to go in the bin.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
It could be. Not that we've ever been wrong on the show before.
No, of course not. No.
I think it might help it to release.
Oh, I dang did it.
You did it.
Oh, there it goes.
I have my handy dandy napkins right here.
Table is ruined.
Table is absolutely ruined. Now I feel awful.
You shouldn't. But without further ado, Tori, go ahead and hit us off with the actual physical description of the can itself there.
Yeah, sure thing. So we have of course, a tin, and it is predominantly white. It has a yellow ribbon or band across the top, not all the way around, of course, and this says try a recipe on the back, so we'll check that out later. It's an Ocean Spray can, whole berry cranberry sauce, and front and center we have a delicious bowl of looks like mashed cranberry or some type of squashed up, maybe stepped on by a foreign woman. And her bare feet. Okay.
Crushed in her armpit, perchance.
Wow. Woo. Now
Even
you're talking.
better.
Yeah. So the much maligned recipe on the back here. Let's see what it is. It's the Festive Orange Cranberry Glaze. I can tell you I won't like this already. Yeah, so there it is. The whole berry cranberry sauce. I can go into the recipe details if you wish. It has cornstarch, cinnamon, salt, grated orange peel, orange juice, and a little bit of white wine.
Yikes.
Yeah.
A lot of orange.
No, thank you. I would rather take cranberry sauce by itself or an orange by itself. Don't mix them. It's like an acid.
Acid bomb.
Yeah, right. Goodness gracious. Spare me. Get the Tums out. And here it says, finally, from our farms to your family, we hope you make Ocean Spray Cranberry Sauce a staple on your table for the holidays and throughout the year. So there you go. There it is, the Ocean Spray in a can, all topsy-turvy and upside down.
Cute. Eric, you want to hit us with a little visual description on the Campbells that we're looking at there?
Sure, I'm pretty sure this is our first Campbell's product we've had on the show. That's for sure.
I believe you're correct.
And
we haven't had many things from cans either, aside from the Ricos.
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's true.
I think it's the only one.
I think you might be right on that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, branching out a little bit on our canned products.
So we did have it twice.
Hitting the big time.
The Ricos.
Yes, we did.
The
Eric.
canned
Very
products.
good.
I mean, that's
We did have Ricos twice.
that's where the big boys play with canned food.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, these ones turned out pretty good, I thought. Anyways, I'm jumping the gun. Campbell's has their typical white cursive Campbell's lettering on a red background.
Vis-a-vis Andy Warhol.
Vis-a-vis
There you go. Little
absolutely.
impressionist or whatever.
Step on out to Pittsburgh and see the Warhol Museum, and you can see an authentic Campbell's painting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, is that there? I don't know. I've never been there.
Yeah.
I have been there, and there are some Campbell's sketches. There might be a painting. I'm not sure. if
Just
there
check
is or
out the
not.
Instagram instead. It's free.
Yeah.
I wasn't that impressed. I have to admit, I didn't care for the Andy Warhol Museum. Anyway, so there's like a curtain being lifted
I
up.
turned my nose up at him. He's too avant-garde for me. I prefer the more luxurious stylings.
All fart guard.
I thought the Natural History Museum was way more interesting.
Eric needs a fart guard. That's for damn sure.
Oh, Jesus. So maybe after this turkey gravy, we'll see. So
Yeah, wear one on both ends.
there's like a curtain being lifted up, and it's got a like blue. I don't know. It's like eye shaped. It's very weird. I'm not sure what the hell's going on here.
Oh, that's Illuminati symbolism right there. I
Oh,
can tell you
okay.
that in a
Yeah.
heartbeat. Absolutely, that is
Illuminati,
a Masonic
right?
symbol. Yeah, they are trying to signal to you through the holiday time.
Could that be the edge of a tablecloth?
I don't know. I think it looks like a
Sure.
pair of red lips with like a blue mouth, like turkey gravy, coming out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were going for. Like I said, I
Feed
thought like
me,
maybe
Eric.
a stage with a curtain being lifted up, and then the stage is sort of like protruding out in like
Pour
a curved. I don't know.
The gravy in my mouth.
Turkey gravy is written in yellow on a blue background, and then there's a picture of a gravy boat pouring gravy over top of some turkey, mashed potatoes, and green beans, which is just classic. I'd say
Can you say all those things faster for me, please?
faster.
Talking about
Got it.
Enlarge the show texture.
no, it says serving suggestion. I think on the side
I'll
there.
say serving suggestion.
What
It
kind of
says
texture
made
are
with
you
real
getting
stock.
with your gravy?
Well, we'll talk about it.
And then there's a recipe on this one too for baked pork chops and gravy.
All right.
That sounds pretty good.
It's turkey gravy, though, Eric. It's not pork chop gravy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Turf and turf,
Not
baby.
as God intended
Boy.
it.
We're just gritting all over this Campbell's can. Obviously, we have no desire to do any kind of marketing or advertisement for Campbell's.
No,
Do
no
not
collabs.
hit us up at
no
all.
collabs with Campbell's. Not when we got Heinz right there.
Yeah.
Haul out your boy Heinz.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. The Navy Nutrition. So a little can. It's only 10.5 ounces, and it says per quarter cup, it's only 25 calories. So
Wow.
they're trying
Health
to
food.
promote themselves as a health food. Yeah.
Since we got started off there talking about Heinz, I did want to bring this up. This was in the news the other day where Heinz actually, I think you guys read the article too, right? They grew some tomatoes in Mars-like conditions.
Yeah.
And made ketchup from the resulting tomatoes.
Exactly right.
I bet you those were some ugly tomatoes. And I thought it was very interesting how they kept saying they were Heinz quality tomatoes. They passed the Heinz quality tomato test.
Right.
But they don't go into a definition on what that is. So I just kept picturing these like poor, sad, mutated tomatoes that are like, yep, they're good enough for Heinz.
They distilled the wine to make the vinegar on Mars also, if you read that part.
I did not read that part.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I skimmed it.
I totally made that up.
Oh, okay.
Entirely.
All right, perfect.
I'm pretty sure I read it, but I did not see that. So, okay.
It was
I just throw in my own facts.
I was going to say, I thought I read it, but I guess I didn't. So, no, but I think it's interesting. You know, Tori and I, you and I talked about this on the way over here today. Well, first of all, let me state this. We're trying to run a little campaign to get them to let us taste this sauce, taste and review this Mars ketchup. So if you guys want to, if anyone knows anyone that works at Heinz, ping them, get on our Instagram, slap a little @Heinz on there, you know, hit us a like on our post, do something to get this bumped up, you know, and I would be thrilled to try this sauce on this podcast and tell everyone in Pittsburgh and the surrounding world what it tastes like. So,
yeah,
I'd be
that would
super
be
interested in it. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool.
I think what other better place to do it than a sauce podcast based locally out of Pittsburgh with these guys. You know,
Sheesh.
we're not based out of Mars, but hey, we do the best we can in a Mars-like environment, which is Eric's house. You know, a very strange place for planet Earth.
a lot of
Very
weird
strange.
creatures running around here.
Yeah, all kinds
Martians.
of bizarre stuff. The science fiction runneth over here, so I would say that could not be more appropriate.
We got talking robots.
Yeah, let's try. Exactly. Yeah. Well, let's try it here in our very own Nerd Palace, Heinz. Please, we implore you.
Hopefully there's some left, because I know during the article it said that there was already created and tasted by their like their panel of experts and
Right.
and their employees. So I don't know how much they made, but it would be very cool if we could get our hands on some.
Send us a bag,
just
brother.
a little teaspoon. That's all I need. You know, just enough for the benuggy in. But no, I was interesting, and you and I were talking about this on the way over, Tori, because I believe the article specifically said Mars-like conditions,
Right.
and we were trying to figure out what exactly that means. Because, like we were saying, like, or at least from my perspective, the things that make Mars Mars also make it rather inhospitable to plant life.
No doubt.
So I was thinking about that. Like, you can't just grow tomatoes out in Mars. I mean, first of all, I think you've got the bombardment of like radiation from having like no atmosphere. And in addition to that, you know, the dust storms, etc., as you will, and obviously the extreme, you know, temperature fluctuations.
That would also suck.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
you know,
very cold.
and then I'm certain that the dirt in and of itself, you know, is probably not great for sustaining life. That could be totally wrong. I don't know about that, but I was wondering what Mars-like conditions are in this circumstances, because anything that I would think tomatoes would grow in would at best have to be an Earth-like environment simulated inside a Mars-like environment, simulated inside, you know, an Earth-like environment, which is where we live. So
you're thinking these are like lab grown and a theoretical lab on Mars, not really Mars
well,
environment.
I'm just wondering what Mars-like environment would mean in that instance, because like I said, is it like they used Martian-type soil? It's not like they can alter the gravity of the planet, and it's not like Mars' gravity is that different anyways, so...
I do wonder, like, does Mars even have any oxygen at all? I don't think there is on that planet, right?
Well, there's no... I could be wrong about this, but I don't believe there's any atmosphere, so I don't think that, the atmosphere is trapped in there. Oxygen is trapped in there by having that, like, greenhouse effect kind of thing where we've got, like, the ozone layer, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. That's
Sure.
the atmosphere there.
Right.
There's nothing to hold the oxygen in, so it just flies off the surface of the planet. Science brought to you by Sauce Spoken.
It's a simulation inside a simulation.
Exactly. It's simulations all the way down.
All the way down the line. It's like that movie with Tom Cruise. I can't think of the name. Like Vanilla Sky or
Vanilla
some
Sky.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's like
yeah,
popping
yeah,
out
yeah.
of Vanilla Sky tomatoes out
Yes.
here.
Well, no, I don't know. What are you guys' takes on that? What would you think that means? Mars-like environment. What did you take that to mean?
I wonder if they're only talking about the soil composition.
Okay.
Like, because that's what was tested by the Mars rover, so they know, it's got heavy iron or whatnot in the soil, but they still need oxygen, sunlight, and Earth-like conditions to grow
Yeah.
them in.
I mean, and so I was kind of wondering what that is, but so if anyone knows anything about this, anyone works for Heinz, anyone has any connections there, hook us up with a thimbleful of this sauce. That's all we need, is a thimbleful. Just enough to dip our little pinkies into. That's all we care about. Let's try some. We'll hype the hell out of it for you. We'll even make it a clean podcast so it appeals to all the kiddies. But,
Sell out just for you.
but in addition to that, can you give us a little bit more info on like what that actually means? Because I'll be happy to rep it out for people on the podcast, but we got to know where to start. So.
I don't know, man. I think it sounds pretty self-explanatory to me. It's Mars-like. I mean, as cute as that little rover is, I don't think he's cultivating anything.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think anything successful. So I don't know, bro. I think it's a simulation. We got the Matrix.
Very possible. But yeah, that's a good point. But before we get too much farther onto that, let's go ahead and let's go back to the visual descriptions of the sauces themselves. Let's do a little switcheroo, and Eric, you can hit us with the visual description of the cranberry sauce, which I think might be a little bit more interesting anyways.
Yep, that's true. So I actually was one who got the cranberry sauce out of its can and
Decanned it.
decanned it. Yes, I
Decanted it.
almost
Decanted it.
took the can opener, opened that sucker up, and took it totally off completely. Flipped the can over, gave it a couple taps on the bottom, which in this case was the top of the can when you put it right side up. Anyways, tapped it out a couple times and lifted up, and boom, it came out in the one
Plop.
wonderful, yes, gelatinous cylinder. So it's very cool. I always like that. It's one of my actually favorite things to do at like Thanksgivings because I always like the canned cranberry sauce.
And then he
Brings
would
back
take
good
it and
memories.
just churn it into his mashed potatoes and just get it really churned in there.
Oh,
mixed
you
in
love
real
that
good.
C word, don't you?
Churned it into his
Love
mashed
it.
potatoes.
Put as much emphasis.
You notice
I
I put the
mind-
lid on the mashed potatoes and took them away from Eric before he could get to them with the ketchup. You know,
Threw
you
the
notice
ketchup out
that.
the window.
Yeah.
I usually have it as like a dessert, like after all the other stuff's been eaten, because it does tend to like spread so much during Thanksgivings. But when I have had it mixed in, like on the plate with everything else, and it kind of seeps into the mashed potatoes and seeps onto the turkey and gets into the Brussels sprouts, tastes all right. It's all fine.
Yeah.
It all ends up in the same place. So.
I do enjoy a good cranberry sauce also. I usually get the jellied kind.
Full jelly, not this whole cranberry
right,
stuff.
yeah. And there's a little bit of difference. I'm sure we'll get into that.
Absolutely, we will.
But yeah.
I did specifically pick this one up because, not to get into the tasting notes too much, but I do like that like whole berry flavor more than just the jellied kind. I mean, they're different things, and I'll eat them both, but I think I generally, as I've gotten older, I prefer the ones with some semblance of actual, like, identifiable food objects in them.
Right.
That's just a me thing, so...
No, I have to agree. I thought it was really interesting the way you could tell it was settled. So when I flipped that can over, popped it out, all the whole berries that went out were very much on the top side, and the jelly part was more on the bottom, and it was like actually being squished out, so it was sort of starting to bulge near the bottom. I think we got some pictures of it. Anyways,
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely fell victim to gravity quickly.
Oh, she was
Yes.
getting dummy thick. We brought that shit into Earth-like conditions, and she splooged right out of there.
And then it was Tori's recommendation that we try slicing it,
Yeah.
which was
I think it mostly
interesting.
worked.
Adequate. Yeah.
We did manage
good
to
enough.
get slices. I got like half a slice. It's interesting to look at on the plate because we have some that is clearly like more dense jelly consistency, some that's more of a loose berry consistency, and then there's some that is basically just water on the plate.
Yeah, total liquid.
And it does bear mentioning that when you had this on the plate, it was sliding around on the plate like an air hockey puck.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah, it was-
Zero resistance.
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
were
challenge to keep it from...
Dangerously close to re-dyeing your mauve carpeting, giving it a fresh bath.
Probably would look better as a nice cranberry anyways.
Yeah, it was like, whoa,
A little Merlot.
whoa. That was the sounds you were making approximately.
Approximately.
You slipped on a banana peel and you still managed to keep it upright, so
I did.
I was very proud of you.
I was very much glad I didn't hand it off to Tori. He's kind of a klutz.
You're almost hitting. A big grand piano almost hit you on the head.
Exactly.
Yeah, but to finish up the look of it, of course, it's a deep red jelly, essentially. And then it has whole cranberries.
Is it a jelly or is it a jam?
Or a preserve.
You know what the difference between a jelly and a jam is, right?
Jams have...
I can't
Chunks
jelly
of-
my up your Hey!
Wow. Haven't heard that one before, and
I'm not sure I even understand it.
Jam. I can jam my ass. I can't jelly it up.
I get it now.
Okay.
Oof.
wow.
We'll bleep all that for the listeners.
Where'd you learn that one?
I've had that stored up for years. Anytime I start talking about jelly or jam, I bust that one out.
Oh,
But there is actually a difference between jelly, jam, and marmalade and preserves and all that shit. So I think that jelly is just the fruit juice that's been like concentrated.
Right.
Jam is with like a blended fruit in there. Preserves is whole fruit.
Like this.
And marmalade is specifically like a citrus with the peel in it. And there's one other type of thing too that's like, I don't remember what it is though. There's one other like another option, or it's a consomme or something like that. I don't know. There's one other thing though. I'm too stupid to remember. So
You knew more than Tori or I
You
about
got me,
jellies
bro.
and jams.
Well, if you're going to come up with that kind of a crude joke, you also got to follow it up with the actual knowledge behind it, I feel like. So,
Okay.
to defuse the situation after everyone is speechless by your keen humor. So, as happened here.
Yes, it did. And I thought it was interesting actually when you were reading about the recipe, because I thought I had actually tasted a little bit of like orange rind or something in there, but it may have just been all in my head. So
I don't know if you're totally off on that. That is definitely a thing that I know. Like my aunt, for many years for Thanksgiving, went really elaborate with making her own homemade cranberry sauces, and she'd make them with a whole variety of things. Sometimes they had lime, sometimes like an orange, a whole host of things. I can't even begin to give them a description on all the stuff she put in there.
Probably
but
nuts at one point in time.
I don't know about nuts as much, but yeah, definitely. Like orange peel is, very common.
very common. Yeah.
It does I think it does have a nicely balanced flavor. So cool. Well, Tori, you want to hit us with the Campbell's turkey gravy?
Yeah, sure thing. So as we peer into the top of this can, we see what really looks like gravy. I mean, there's really not too much else to it outside of your normal brown gravy that you would see. On any poultry product, you could make the argument. I know we were jerking around about the recipe on the back that happens to be a different protein, but I wouldn't see this out of place on it. Man, you really set me up for a real winner here. I mean, this is brown gravy. If I've ever seen a brown gravy.
Well, I would say it's brown colored, but I think brown gravy is a very specific type of gravy, which this is not.
Oh boy. Okay.
You're not familiar with this?
You open a can of worms there, dude. Go
You
nuts.
thinking the Daddy's brown sauce?
No, brown gravy. What I'm saying is that there is a specific, like McCormick makes a brown gravy, which is like really dark.
Much darker, yes.
Yeah, and it's more like beefy than this is, whereas this is a light tannish brown gravy.
I'll be darned. Well, there you go. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's just called brown gravy.
Wow. But yeah, so apparently it's made with real stock, real poultry stock. And I certainly got that in the taste. But yeah, it is a brown gravy, not brown gravy.
Yes.
For those getting technical, or a tan, if you will.
I would say tan.
Yeah.
You know what I just realized? I wonder if there's any bits of turkey in it.
I didn't get any.
I didn't get any either. But we all poured it out of the can. If we give that sucker a stir with a spoon, is there going to be any little bits in there?
I don't.
Well, you
think
gonna eat
so.
your straw out, eat, and you can just
a couple of
go right down
things
to the
they
bottom.
say made with stock,
Yeah.
which leads me to believe that there's no actual turkey in there. It's just made with the turkey juice, filtered and all that shit.
Sure.
But they also do tell you that a little key recipe thing there is to mix that with some of the drippings from your extra large turkey that you got for free from work, Eric. And we didn't talk about this on the air, did we?
He's wheeling
No,
out
we
big
didn't.
birds.
Eric chooses, so they bring on a limited selection of turkeys to Eric's work, and they offer people, say, hey, in honor of, Thanksgiving, choose an order according to the size of your family. We have a variety of size of turkeys, and, most of the people, I have a family of 3, so I'll take a medium-sized bird. Eric, a family of 1, of course, takes the largest size bird he can get because, of course, hey, it's free food. Eric's not going to turn it down. He'll throw it in his refrigerator and let it, stew there for the next 6 to 7 months.
Have a little turkey party.
Carve off a little bit every time he's hungry, throw it in a frying pan with some Lee Kum Kee sauté sauce and off to town.
I always use the whole bird, and I usually take it to my family, and we share it, and then I get turkey back with me, and I also
and it's
take
great
the carcass.
because he can have it for Thanksgiving, and then he can bust it out again leftovers for Christmas.
Right, following Easter.
And then he can wrap up a little bit, for Easter, just to let it last a little bit, So it's great.
Yeah, it's usually about when I'm cooking the turkey carcass, probably in a turkey soup. It's probably getting close to Easter.
He's having green eggs and green turkey for breakfast.
Kidding.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
kidding.
I
God,
almost
Tori,
fell
your
off my
face.
chair.
It's not joking when you legitimately do this stuff, though. Like, you've done equally things like that. We were talking about the pickled eggs that you brought over, almost a solid year. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Yeah, you be...
I ate them.
I'm
They're
speechless.
fine.
I'm speechless.
I wasn't sick at all from those.
You say you're fine, and yet you are constantly sick. You're constantly regaling us with your ailments. Now, you have no argument. Let that be noted. No argument from Eric. He has nothing, no rebuttal for that whatsoever.
No, 100%. I think I've been the healthiest. This has been my healthiest year, without a doubt. I have not been truly sick with any kind of head cold, sinus infection, or anything since
You better knock on wood.
I had COVID.
Since
back
you were
in
sick
February,
2 weeks ago.
Back in November. No, well, yeah, I was sick 2 weeks ago with my first sinus infection. Prior to that.
Well,
Prior
my
to that.
healthiest year on record.
So I almost made it a whole year without having any kind of cold or anything.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's not... You were sick so many times earlier this year. You're pulling this so out of it. Whatever. Let's move on.
Whatever.
What else do you have to say about the sauce, Tori?
Oh boy. Yeah. So it is, yeah, I mean, you close your eyes. I feel like I say this all the time, but it's true. If you close your eyes and in your mind's eye, you think of gravy on a delicious Thanksgiving turkey plate, smothering your poultry and your potatoes, and maybe you get a little bit on the vegetables too, but that's okay. But yeah, so if you imagine that in your mind's eye, bang, that's what you have in that can.
Okay. And I think that, now here's the thing. I really enjoyed, I'm glad we did these for Thanksgiving. I enjoyed tasting these. We tried the gravy on some instant mashed potatoes I whipped up for us really quick. We tried we just sliced up the cranberry sauce and ate that as is. So, but the thing about this is, like, we're going to get into our tasting notes in here a second, but honestly, like, I don't know. I almost kind of feel like there's not a whole lot to say about some of these. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but that was, especially like the gravy for me, I was like, okay, I don't know. It's something we did for the holiday episode here, but, what can you say about it? But without further ado, Eric,
I have
what
a lot
can
to
you say about it? So, hit us with the gravy first.
I have a lot to say. So I always go home for the holidays, and I have a family that likes to cook. So, yeah, we always make our gravy from the juices from the turkey.
Your family loves cooking 38-pound turkeys.
Why does that sound so gross when you say that? I don't know why it is.
From the juices of the turkey?
Don't say it like that.
From the drippings. Anyway.
Drippings is worse.
That's what I think, too. But that's what Adam said earlier. So he must like drippings over juices.
I don't know, man. It's because you say it. I wouldn't mind if anyone else said that, but you talking about juices and drippings.
Anyways, so I've never really had canned gravy before. I've had jarred gravy once.
I think they're the exact
which is
same.
probably they're pretty much the same thing.
What is a tin if not an aluminum jar?
Wow.
Sure, big
It
brain
is an
time.
aluminum jar.
Oof, big brain. This is great. Massive.
But seriously, they're both canned. They're both like
both
sealed
have
like that vacuum seal. So I mean, and they're the same product, I'm sure. So
I don't know. I think I don't know who made that
you don't
jar.
know. Okay,
I don't remember who made that jarred
great
gravy. But this Campbell's turkey gravy to me was a little lackluster. Just was not very. I didn't think it was very flavorful. I mean, I could taste a little bit of that turkey stock, but I didn't think it was anything. It just didn't. Yeah, it didn't have it. Didn't have the amped flavor that I'm used to. I guess probably healthier for you. Probably doesn't. It doesn't have a little bit of the turkey bits in it and whatnot.
It's a health food. We already established that.
The gizzard and everything. That's
Don't talk about gizzards either.
The little neck pieces and whatnot that goes. Yeah, the neck pieces. They usually scrape the neck bone with all the little bits of meat and put that into the gravy. So it gets fingered up and pulled out of it.
You're not fingering it.
Yeah, there you go.
Your word choices.
You're not fingering the turkey, Eric. God damn it. Tori, what did you think about it for your initial tasting notes?
I didn't hate it. I didn't particularly love it either. I thought it was hospital food quality gravy.
Yep.
Well, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You definitely knew what they were going for. That was made very clear. The execution, and I'm sure this is a function of the volume. I mean, they're cranking out, who the hell knows, hundreds of thousands of gallons of this stuff, probably on the daily. And, I think maybe to that degree, quality will take a little bit of a hit. I mean, it's a volume game for them. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. This isn't mom and pop's, canned gravy back of your van. Outlet, whatever, but
van.
Yeah, of course.
You're buying van gravy over here?
Who doesn't go out and buy a big can of?
Who's your gravy guy? Oh, he's out in the van.
Yeah, he's out back.
Call your gravy guy. Bring his van over.
He's the guy with the eye patch.
Right.
That's the guy who he used to fight down at the docks.
He's fingering the juice out of the gizzards.
Gravy Gary. Steal your gravy. So
he had such a grip, he just squeezed all the
squeeze the drippings out of you.
Squeeze the drippings out.
Jesus. I don't want any Eric drippings anywhere near me.
Oof.
He's already a drippy enough guy to begin with.
What about Eric's gizzard?
Drip, drip. What else did you have to say about the sauce, you sick fuck?
There's a tangent. Yeah, so, I think hospital food quality gravy, not bad. You could tell what they were shooting for. Whether or not they execute it, well, that's sort of out. But I didn't think it was bad on the potatoes. I really didn't. Maybe my palate isn't refined and luxurious.
Not luxurious enough.
75-cent can of gravy is excellent. But
it was on top of instant potatoes too.
Yeah, so we're going extra class here. But to be very, very honest with you, I did not mind it on the potatoes. Yeah, I thought it was nice. I'm not certain I would have it at my table, given the choice. Nothing against canned gravy, if that's whatever, if that's where you find yourself, whatever, I'm not here to judge, but I would move on to something else.
I kind of agree with you. Like, I'm not a huge fan of turkey gravy to begin with. One of the gravies I like in particular is actually that brown gravy. One of my little key secret things there is I like to take that brown gravy and I like to throw in a pack of that onion soup, and I like to mix them like that. So you get that nice oniony brown gravy with like those beefy flavors and stuff, and I think that makes a really good sauce gravy or whatever for like a roast beef or something like that with some vegetables.
Would you put that on turkey? Sure. Would that be a Thanksgiving?
I don't think I would on turkey though. That would be a little bit of a miss on turkey, and I'm not that big of a fan of turkey in general. Like, I love a good turkey lunch meat on like a sandwich, some cold cuts and some Duke's mayo maybe. Ooh. Like I had this week or last week for dinner.
Swiss and a slice or two of bacon.
Exactly.
Ooh, man.
That hits. Now, I'm not a huge fan for just like the big cooked turkey. I'm not stealing from some little poor family and taking a large bird all to myself. Certainly not, as some people are wont to do.
That's right. The part-time gal can't make ends meet.
But also for this particular gravy, I'm also not a huge fan of turkey gravy in general, and I do think you're right there, Tori. I think this is the epitome of like hospital food. The other thing that came to my mind was actually like a TV dinner gravy.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I think even...
Something else I can say I've never had.
Really? Never had a Hungry Man turkey? Really?
No.
I think that even though that is like a pressed turkey product in those meals, I do think that microwaving the gravy in with the actual turkey itself does amp the flavor up a lot. I do think you're right. It's exceedingly bland, and I do think it would be better if you did mix it in with the oozings of the turkey.
Anything to doctor that up would do it.
I do think...
With the exception of salt, maybe.
It does bear mentioning that we did try this like room temperature right out of the can, because I felt that the consistency was a servable consistency, and we tried it on some pretty warm mashed potatoes, but I don't think heating it up would have helped anything. I think it would have just thinned it out more, and I think it was already, like I said, at a servable consistency. It does bear mentioning that I think the traditional way that gravy is made is with like a flour, you thicken the gravy with flour, and I think this one is actually probably more of like a cornstarch thickening. It's got more of that like jelly-like consistency, which I find a little bit off-putting, but it doesn't affect the flavor, obviously, and it does keep the gravy a little bit more clear if that's something you care about at all for whatever reason.
Yeah, I hear you though. That's certainly a cornstarch.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yes.
And I'm also curious. I know we try this at room temperature. What the heck does the can say?
I do think it says to heat it up, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like...
We're breaking our own rules.
I know, but I did serve it warm because it went on the warm potatoes, so I think that equalized out to an edible temperature.
Semantics. Yeah, okay.
So that was kind of my little weasel that in.
Wowee.
But no, I do think you're right, Tori. I think it's bland, but I think also it bears mentioning that I think Campbell's is like the master of the bland food.
No doubt.
I think everything they make is kind of subtly or extremely bland, And I think that's kind of what they cater to. It's sick food, Like
exactly.
you said, it's hospital food.
Exactly.
It's the perfect thing to have when you're not feeling well and you just want something mild that you can keep down. Campbell's excels at that. And it's nice, I've known people that had Campbell soup for breakfast every morning, and that was their thing, that worked fine for them. So I can't grit on it, It's they're doing something that works. It's not necessarily my thing. I'm a bold guy and I like bold flavors, but it's a thing.
I would argue that the government stepped in there a little bit back in like
the government,
in like the early 90s. They started slapping, foods can't be so salty and they need to be, less flavorful. Because I remember when I was like a kid.
They didn't say they have to be less flavorful.
No,
they're not like saying you can't have chunks of turkey in this.
All I'm saying is that when I was a kid, Campbell's chicken soup tastes completely different than it does today.
I think that's just as a taste bud as a kid's, dude. I don't think it's any... I remember as a kid thinking it's exactly... I think it's exactly the same as an adult, to be honest with you. And let me ask you this. Let me riddle you this, Batman. Perchance, did your mother amp that soup up a little bit when she served it to you? Did she throw a couple...
I'm talking about like the school. Like the schools would serve Campbell's chicken noodle soup at like cafeteria.
Maybe they're amping it up.
I don't know.
But putting their vitamins and minerals in it for you. try to help you grow into a strong, healthy young lad. It failed, but obviously they tried. Hey, that's what counts.
They tried.
I do think that this particular gravy probably benefited a little bit from these mashed potatoes. I did. I followed the directions, but I couldn't help myself amping up a little bit. I put a little bit of just some black pepper in there and some parsley in there and a healthy dose of butter, as one is wont to do. I resisted from putting any additional salt into it. So I did go a little bit extra with these potatoes, but I think that they benefited from being on the potatoes. I think if we had tried this plain on its own, like you said, it would have almost tasted like nothing.
That might have been an ick moment.
I think it would have been edible. I did try a little bit with my fork aside from that, and it was fine. It definitely benefited from being warmed up by the potatoes, but I think it was fine. But like you said, utterly bland. But without further ado, let's move on to the cranberry sauce, which I think at least you can say was probably not bland. You want to hit us with your thoughts there, Eric?
Well, it definitely wasn't bland. It was very sweet, and I don't know. You have the cranberry notes, and I liked the whole cranberries. I think I liked it more than I anticipated, because I'm always one to go to that, like Tori had mentioned, that full jelly version myself. But maybe I'm just getting old like Adam and likes to have or something of resembling food, as he put it, in the cranberry sauce. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think Ocean Spray always does a really good job. Their products have been. I always get the Ocean Spray craisins and whatnot. So
ooh, they're good.
Yeah, they're super good. It's sweet. It's delicious. I don't know what else to say.
I too am a huge fan of cranberries in any form. Really, I like the juice. I like the jellied. I had some thoughts.
Do you like them jammed?
About this? I could jam a cran. Whoa. But yeah, so I like this a lot. I still prefer jellied cranberry sauce in comparison to this. I got a hull.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got a hull, and it got stuck in my teeth, because we have this problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
Eric
He doesn't have this problem.
He loves
Tight
chewing
teeth,
on
yeah.
stuff. He's got tight teeth. You've got loosey-goosey teeth.
I do. I got all types of. Yeah.
So you got stuff flopping all around in there.
Exactly. And of course, it had to find the J.O. with the loose ass. Not loose teeth. I'm not tooth.
They're all flopping around
Yeah, right.
in there.
I don't got like methamphetamine mouth.
The four you have left are just flying around in your mouth. They're trading places like...
I got my summer teeth in.
They're migrating like the birds.
That's right. Some are here, some are there. Whatever. But yeah, so I had a hull. That of course got stuck up in my teeth, so I didn't care for that. But yeah, overall, they certainly had that cranberry taste that we love. It was a little bit mashed. It looked like food, which some people prefer, I guess. Some people like it.
Right.
But that particularly doesn't bother me. But if I had both in front of me, I'd take jelly. But there you go. I mean, I liked it. It was sweet. It was tangy. It was a cranberry medley. It was a jamboree. It's it's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me personally, I think kind of the same thing there. The thing I like about Ocean Spray in particular, the thing I think specifically they do better with cranberries, is that they're not afraid to keep some of that tartness in, which I really like. That's the key thing to me, because so many people go super sweet with cranberries, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but you can get unsweetened cranberry juice, will make you pucker like nobody's business, because it is overwhelmingly tart. There's not a whole lot of natural sweetness, not nearly as much as many people think. Most of that sweetness is coming straight from the sugar. It's a lovely flavor, but you sweeten it. And I feel like Ocean Spray, it is heavily sugared, obviously, but I feel like they keep it within, not necessarily for the cranberry sauce, but even just for their juices. They keep it within the ballpark of normalcy. They don't go sickeningly sweet with it, and they keep a little bit of that tartness, which I like. And I feel like that carried over well into this sauce as well. I feel, like I said, I like the fact that there's edible fruit to chew on there. I didn't get any hull. I did get some citrusy notes, but I also got a lot of that, I like the color variation in it too. There's some subtle differences in the berries color variation. And I really liked that, like I said, it's sweet, but it's got a little bit of tartness to it. And I definitely like the mouthfeel of this better than your standard one. So
you pushing for a tart rating?
Ooh. A tart rating, you tart.
A tart rating? We might have to get Lucky Lady Listener back on here with us for a tart rating. We're a podcast that respects women, damn it.
That's right.
No tart ratings, Eric. You sick fuck. But no, so I think that's, I don't know, I think that's it for kind of our initial tasting notes. Oh, wait, I'm about to discover something here.
Oh boy. You're going to spill that gravy yet.
Neat. I learned something here just now playing with the cans. And it's that the Ocean Spray can, while the same height as the Campbell's can, is slightly wider. So when the Ocean Spray has been opened and voided of its contents, you can take it and set it over top of the Campbell's can and create a nice little lid for it there to seal her back up if you want to save some for later in your fridge.
That's right.
Cute.
Perfect.
We may have to make that an Instagram. Uh-oh, it's suctioned. Uh-oh, it's stuck. I can't get it back out. There it goes. Whew. It did suction cup itself to the top.
How's that happen?
I don't know. We may have to get a picture. We may have to get a story of that for the Instagram. But without further ado, it's time for Eric's favorite segment of the show, the ingredients. Hit us, Eric.
Which one are we starting with, Adam? Do you
It's
have a
up
preference?
to you. Generally speaking, we go with alphabetical order.
That's
so
right.
we've got Ocean Spray and Campbell's, but we've also got cranberry and turkey. So it depends on which one you want to go off of for alphabetical.
I'm going to go off what it is, cranberry sauce. Starting with that. Ingredients for cranberry sauce is cranberries, high fructose corn syrup. Oh, the love of it. Corn syrup after that, because there wasn't quite enough sweetness in there, which is interesting. Adam went on and on about the tartness, which I did not think was very prevalent at all. But
I said there's some.
to each their
I
own.
didn't say it was overwhelmingly tart. I said there was some tartness, Eric.
And then there's water.
Wow, that was quick.
That was quick. Easy. Done. Over. Now Adam's going to inspect.
Uh-oh.
Did
I'm
he
just looking.
miss something?
No, I'm just looking. No, I'm surprised that there's no, like, thickening agent in this. Like, I feel like there would be some gelatin or something in there, right?
Yeah, that's kind of
Doesn't that
surprising.
seem weird? Because it's, like, clearly jellied. You can't just do that. Like, does cranberry...
Just a
cranberries
high
do that
fructose
on
corn
its own?
syrup?
That's the part that's throwing me off a little bit. Like, I was expecting some sort of, like, solidifying agent in there, unless they don't have to list gelatin because it's such a small percentage or something.
Must be.
That is a good question.
Weird. Okay.
I mean, does it? Because you would think in that case it would be vegan and vegetarian.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good point. Does it say that on there? Dolphin safe? Well, Tori's looking at that. Why don't you hit us with the Campbell's ingredients there, Eric?
All right, our Campbell's turkey gravy here has turkey stock, number one. So
Okay.
they're not.
They did say that on the front.
Yeah, they're not wimping out here. They really does have turkey stock, followed by wheat flour, modified food starch, contains less than 2% of chicken fat, salt, yeast extract, turkey fat, dehydrated onions, chicken stock, flavoring, caramel color, dehydrated chicken, and celery extract.
Wow.
So
That's really interesting.
put a lot in there.
There's actually a lot of like flavors that I would want to add to like a good gravy in there, So I'm surprised it doesn't have more of a flavor on its own, I guess. I don't know. That kind of throws me off a little bit. Like I was expecting it just to be like, turkey stock, water, cornstarch, and they did have flour in there too, as you notice. They had some sort of modified food starch, which God only knows what that is. But yeah, that actually threw me off a little bit, like the celery and stuff in there. I would have expected that to have a more, I don't know, rich flavor. Maybe it's just they've balanced it so well. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Just since you brought it up, the ingredients from corn in this product come from genetically modified crops. And for information about GMO ingredients, visit what'sinmyfood.com.
All right. Okay, well,
Strange.
Right? Yeah, this just keeps getting weirder. There's no vegan or vegetarian moniker anywhere on this can. The only thing we got is the old kosher K.
All right, that's interesting. I guess the cranberries they slaughtered in there were acceptably slaughtered, suitably killed.
They screamed bloody murder as they were.
Right.
You know what, dude? I think you're right about the label being all topsy-turvy.
Oh, yeah.
Not only so much because of that, but on the underside, it says open other side written on top of that can.
Very good.
And that is pretty damn deliberate, if you ask me.
I just opened up the website here, and you can clearly tell that the bottom is on top.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which leads me to believe that, yeah, they're definitely doing that intentionally. They want you to... So I didn't overthink it. Thank you very much, Tori.
Some other jagoff did.
I'm going to make like this cranberry sauce, and I'm going to make you eat your words.
Get the Maylocks.
Yeah, I don't feel like the need to go through this whole website here. There's some reviews. Oh, this is interesting. One person said, "Where are the berries?" I feel like we got a lot of berries in ours. What happened? Wow. No cranberries in the whole sauce. No berries. There's lots of reviews saying no berries. I feel like we got a hefty amount of berries in ours, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was...
My bite was like all berries. Well, I'm not going to read this whole thing here. I think it's interesting. Their rating is only a 2.5 on their website. And I actually think it was... I mean, I don't want to spoil my rating, but I think it was better than that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's look at the Campbell's sauce here on the... Let's look at their website. not much going on here.
No, not a whole lot.
Nope, their website is much simpler. I would say much lower, design quality, and it's just basically like, hey, here's our fucking gravy. Here's where to buy it.
Bro, if you're Campbell's Soup, what kind of crazy ass website do you need?
I don't know. I like the Ocean Spray one. It looks like they're putting some serious effort into that. They've got neat graphics and stuff, interesting looking recipes. None that I would probably try.
Cranberry Brie appetizer bites. Woohoo! Sign me up.
Yeah, heck
Maybe.
yeah.
I was kind of looking more at this glazed pork roast. I don't need it on this pancakes wherever the fuck those are. That sounds whack.
You
as
can
hell.
go pancake your ass to go back where it came from.
Yeah.
I'm taking them Brie appetizer bites.
But I would take this glazed pork roast here. So, all right. Well, I think that's
Yeah, I can't believe that Campbell's website. That's pathetic.
I know.
It's like stunningly bad.
Yeah, I would say stunningly bad is accurate. I mean, no, it's a little bit better. They got some more interesting stuff if you click on like their main homepage. But yeah, if you go to the product pages, pretty weak, Campbell's, I gotta say. Yeah, not definitely not selling me off of that.
I'm no website critic, but I mean, I don't know. It seems all right to me.
It's suitable. I mean, it's passable. It's probably easy to navigate for like the, baby boomers that go on here primarily that like that nice bland food. So that's my guess. All right, well, I would say that's good enough for their websites there. Like I said, we don't need to dwell on that. They're major websites. So you guys can go check that out if you want to go see what Campbell's has popping on their website.
I didn't realize the other brands that Campbell had.
If you're a baby boomer, by all means, check out Campbell's website.
Campbells.com.
Not
www.
HTTPS. All right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the ratings portion of the show. And let's go ahead and let's start off. What did we start off with before? The cranberries?
Start with the cranberry for the ingredients.
Let's start off with the cranberries. You want to hit us first with your rating there, Eric, for the cranberry?
Sure, I liked it. I did like it. It's very delicious, but I have had better, so I can't give it like an all-star rating or anything. But I'd say it's I don't know, I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, right.
What about you, Tori?
The cranberry sauce. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I like cranberries. I like cranberry sauce. I said it before, I'll say it again. I preferred it gelled. I think an 8 is probably appropriate for these guys.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a sucker for cranberries. That's just the way it goes. And yeah, I mean, it may have got a 9 without the hull, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I sort of stick to 7.5 a great deal, not to throw out that A word and summon our Spectre friend,
right. Yeah,
right. Mr. Paul, but
Ghost Paul,
yeah, right. But yeah, so I am going to stick with an 8, a snowman. I like the cranberry sauce. It's a winner, and I want to see it on your table.
Nice. Yeah, I think for me personally, I enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it more than the jellied one, which I also like, but mainly it's because of the texture thing that I like better. I like being able to kind of chomp on them berries a little bit. I didn't get any whole, so that was a plus for me, I guess. This is a tough one for me. I do think that there are better ways to do this, like a homemade one would probably be better. I'm a little bit thrown off by like what's going on to create that jellied effect, that they're not throwing in the ingredients. So that disturbs me a little bit. I question that heavily, but I'm willing to be possibly wrong on that. But honestly, I think you guys are right on the line there. Like, I've had some good homemade ones before, but honestly, yeah, I think I'm going to come in with this one at an 8. I'll roll right in with you guys, so we'll have a 888.
I think that's I think that's a really fair score. It's good. I mean,
yeah,
it's good.
I really enjoy it. Like, I would definitely, like, I'm not quite in the mood for it right now, but I would definitely have, like, a healthy serving of this.
Oh, for sure. Oh, if the time was right, forget it. Oh, yeah.
Now, what do you guys normally eat cranberry sauce on, though? Do you just eat it on its own, or do you throw it on the turkey or anything, or?
By itself, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, usually by itself, I would say.
Just chuck it on down.
Yeah,
I have had it on brie, actually, like heated brie.
All right. I mean, I would definitely try that. I will eat some on turkey, too. I don't feel like I need it. Like, I'm happy to have it on its own, but I don't know. To me, it's weird. Like, I would rather have it on something, like, maybe, I know we say this a lot, I bust this out constantly, but throw it on a cheesecake or something. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like,
yeah, the
nice
cheesecake comment does come out. But it's true.
Yeah.
The tartness with the creaminess.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Like that sweetness, that subtle sweetness and the creaminess with this nice tart crispness. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah. I mean, boy, that's a holiday dessert if I ever heard one.
Even mix it into some Greek yogurt. Make yourself a cranberry ocean spray
you know what?
yogurt.
If you're feeling special, go ahead and just churn it into some mashed potatoes for yourself. Liven it up with churn it right in there, get that nice red color going on.
That word never bugged me until you started really hammering on
Eric's the one that brought it up, and that was in my mind, so I'm going to put it in everyone else's mind, damn it. Ugh.
This is just Adam. Can't let anything go. Typical classic Adam.
Typical classic OCD. Compulsive disorder. But without further ado, Eric, go ahead and hit us with that Campbell's. Give us your rating on that.
And the Campbell's, again, was, I thought it was surprising because I didn't think I was going to like it too much, but it was certainly edible, and it was, better than what I had expected, I guess. So I guess my expectations were low, so I have to give it I'm going to give it a 5. Like, it's
wow, okay.
It's passable.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. My expectations also were hella low. I really didn't think this was going to knock my socks off, and it really didn't. It's, yeah, I mean, dang. If you have the opportunity to get something better, do it. But if that's all you have, it'll suffice for, the time being. I would have heated it up personally. If I was running the show, if they weren't running the show, I would have heated it up. But
fair.
They deemed the room temp, so we'll have to go with that. But
there's nothing to prevent us from heating some up and doing a little soft-spoken rewind on it.
Yeah, I mean, in my heart of hearts, I don't think that it'll be.
My thing was, I thought that what they told me was they said they thought it would be harder for us to eat if it was too thin because it would be harder to taste it on its own versus the mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Like it'd be too thin.
That's when you make your little mashed potato pool.
They didn't have any sippy cups here for us. We can heat the fucking shit up if you want to try. There's more mashed potatoes fucking left. We'll heat the shit up, Tori.
Yeah, you're really revving yourself up there, but I mean, if it were me and I had a plate of leftover
we'll have to
turkey,
ask Eric. We'll let him do the Alexa, turn the microwave on. It'll be a whole ordeal that we'll have to hear about for another week.
1 minute only, keep in mind. That's the time
Right,
limit.
don't explode it. Like I said, I was wondering if there was actually anything solid near the bottom.
Oh my God, we fucked this up entirely. We ruined the episode because we didn't do the gravy dissection.
Can I finish about the heated comments?
Yes, please go ahead.
If it was dinner and I was by myself and I had a couple pieces of leftover turkey, I would have heated up the gravy. That was the comment. If you want to heat it up now, by all means, God love you. God bless you. You have my blessing up and down. But at any rate,
I heated myself up instead.
Yeah, wow. Boy, yeah. I was going to put the gravy on your head. It'll start boiling.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I mean, with that said, boy, not my first choice. I think he nailed it. I think it's a Cinco, dude. It's a 5.
All right.
It's not, it's there.
Okay.
At best.
All right. Okay. And I think for me personally, I think, when we start, I know we've had a troubled history past with ketchup as being a number 5 rating for our average, But I think one thing to say about ketchup is that it's punchy, It's got the vinegar notes, it's got the sweetness, it's got savory, saltiness in it. And I think that for me to call this a 5 is actually going a little bit too far. I think that this it is not punchy at all. Like I said, it's the epitome of bland. This is something that you wouldn't. Someone could drizzle this in your mouth like when you're sleeping, and you wouldn't even know you were eating anything. That's how bland it is. So, I mean, that's something that happens to people constantly.
That is really something.
Much like the 8 spiders you eat every year. Someone could pour like 8 cans of gravy in your mouth a year, and you'd never know. You'd wake up with a savory crust around your mouth, and you'd be none the wiser.
And that spider thing's a total fallacy. I think we maybe came up with that before on a previous episode.
Absolutely, it is, Eric. But it is one of those commonly. It's
common.
A little factoid, which another factoid about factoids is a factoid is a little tidbit that is not true. But people always say factoids like it's a little mini fact, which is not true.
Huh.
That's a factoid about factoids for you. Brought to you by Soft Spoken, presented with blessing from Campbell's. No, probably not, actually. Revoked.
A factoid.
Yeah. But, no, I think for me personally, I'm going to come in with this I think I'm being generous here, a 3.
A generous 3.
I think a 3 is generous. Like, I'd actually be closer to like a 2.5. I'm giving them that extra half discretionary point just because, like, it is good, like, sick, bland hospital, TV dinner food. But, yeah, I was pretty underwhelmed even for this. I was hoping for better. I've had really good gravies come out of even just like a dry powder packet. I've had better ones come out of like a Heinz jar, like you mentioned, This one, I was like, man, I wouldn't, unless you really doctored this up. But as Eric has said here, so many times we've reiterated many, many times, we rate sauces here.
True.
We don't rate drippings. We don't rate gizzards.
Gizzards.
We don't rate fingered turkeys here. We rate sauces. And in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rate this sauce a 3.
Wow.
I did think it was interesting. I think both of you commented that you did not try the gravy by itself. But I did
a little bit on a fork, yeah.
I actually poured a little glob on
I've seen the glob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what turned me off, was that when it was, that's when I would have preferred it warm, was if I'd been able to try a little bit on its own warm.
Okay.
But I really don't think that would have changed anything. Like I feel like it was an adequate temperature for me when I ate it with the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it wasn't off. I mean,
I know I terribly offended Tori by not cooking it up, and I didn't shake it enough for Eric. But
That's right. Needed pre-shooken.
I really ruined this episode.
You really dropped the ball, dude.
I really did. So
I was surprised that I was able to taste a little bit of salt, though. And I wanted to separate to make sure it wasn't the
I think that was the only
potatoes.
thing I tasted, to be honest with you. Like I got like a faint ghost of a turkey's gone by, you know.
Yeah, true.
It's almost as if someone waved the turkey bone over the pot as they were cooking.
I would say that this
There was
has
a
roughly
hint
the
of
same.
turkey.
Like this is like a Campbell's savory version of like a LaCroix water, you know, like those sparkling things. Like they passed the turkey over top of it, and like a feather maybe fell in for a second.
Those waters are terrible.
A turkey was screaming outside.
Yeah, a wild turkey walked by the window when they were making this. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's going to do it for me for these sauces. And I was really hoping that we could do a little extra tidbit of the show here, a listener favorite segment. I want to bust out a little recipes.
It's a recipes Thanksgiving.
And I'm going to make this pretty open-ended and pretty simple for you here, Eric. I'm not going to make you guess what it is, but what I'm going to say, I see things a lot of times at like a Sheetz, or recently I saw like a Gecko where they have like a gobbler sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they've got your turkey, they've got like a proprietary stuffing bread, they've got the gravy on it, they've got maybe some cheese, maybe not, and then they've got like a cranberry spread across the top. Personally, I don't like something like that.
Oh, I love it.
I think that's whack as fuck, especially when you're putting the gravy in with the cranberry sauce. That turns me off, especially if there's cheese in there too. Like, I do not feel like that needs cheese at all.
Cheese would be a no-go.
Yeah, cheese is a no-go. Gecko is a no-go in that case for me. So
Does the Gecko put cheese in theirs? I don't remember.
I think they do.
Queso is a no-no.
Queso is a big no-no. Although I wouldn't be totally opposed to trying the queso with the cranberry sauce, much like the aforementioned brie kind of. But what I'm hoping you can do here is just make us something that you can put both this gravy and this cranberry sauce on. Make a little food item, a little taster's thing. Like, give us an appetizer. You're making a Thanksgiving appetizer, and you want to use both of these items.
Both of these items. That's almost a bit of a challenge.
It's
They're kind of at odds with each other. But
I want it to be bite-sized, though. Something bite-sized for like an appetizer.
Oh, is this how open-ended is this?
That's it.
Master.
That's
okay,
it.
Okay.
It got more restrictive as I went on and I thought about it. Not like one bite. It can be 2 bites.
I was gonna say, bro, come on.
But something like cupcake sized, or
Going for like a small, a little small
An hors d'oeuvre,
appetizer
if you would.
An
thing.
appetizer, something you could put on a toothpick, maybe.
Yeah, it's a Thanksgiving appetizer.
What if you used your weak gravy here with some seasoned bread, right? Dry seasoned bread. Put that into like a casserole dish.
All right.
Maybe mush it down a little bit. Pour this over.
I don't like the hand gesture you did. You took your hands like your little badger, like patting the earth, and just the whole idea of you getting your hands like mushed with this gravy and just mushing it into bread made me so nauseous.
Yeah. So envision a little raccoon or something.
So you're using this to kind of like sort of as like a, I don't know, I guess like a stock for your. To make your own kind of like bread.
Oh, you're churning with your fingers now.
Yeah, like a bready, kind of like a stuffing. Anyways, bake that. Maybe halfway through baking that, sprinkle on some like cheese, and that comes out.
Why the cheese? You're lactose intolerant.
Well, it tastes good. I think it'll taste good. And then when you cut that into like sections, like little like squares, and you can just like top with a little bit of like cranberry sauce on top of that. You know?
Okay. What kind of a bread? What else are you putting in this bread besides the gravy?
The seasonings in the bread,
Yeah.
Celery, like normal, like stuffing kind of stuff, like
Okay.
celery and seasonings. I don't know.
See, I actually, when I first came up with this idea, I actually had a thought of kind of like a spice bread, like you said, but more like with, nutmeg and cinnamon and things like that in there, and like a cream cheese, and then a little dollop of the cranberry on top is kind of, it's more like a dessert than an hors d'oeuvre, but that was kind of what came to my mind.
But you're going to put the turkey can in with your spice bread.
Yeah, I thought you could make some gravy in that, and kind of like, a lot of times within like sweeter dishes, you'll put a little bit of like salt to spice it up, just to bring those those flavors. And I think that since most of what you're getting from this, you can mix this in some bread dough pretty easily and get something like that.
Can
That's
I
my
have
thought.
a spin off of what you were thinking, E?
Please.
Sure. Go
What
for
about some, like a Thanksgiving bruschetta? Like have E's idea, like with like a wafer or a cracker.
Like get it really crispy.
Yeah. And then you can slap on maybe, I don't know, like a little spoon of gravy and then maybe a little cranberry sauce on top. Maybe a little...
You're not afraid of mixing those at all. You're
Maybe
just
a little walnut?
okay.
What if you had like a little turkey chip, like a little almost like deep fried chip of turkey about the size of like a quarter sticking out of the side of that thing?
Oh, that
too,
would be what's up.
Or turkey jerky.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like basically make like a jerky out of it, like a super dry, crunchy piece of turkey on top there.
Okay.
That could be good too.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
I think those are all three solid ideas. I hope that some of the listeners throw some of those together, because there are things you could conceivably whip up at Thanksgiving with no prior preparation or planning, and let us know how it turns out.
I think either one of those ideas sound like a fabulous appetizer at the Friendsgiving night on the night before. So
I think
sorta-
you mean yesterday, Tori.
Sort of prime the pump.
I think you mean yesterday.
Yeah, save it for next year,
There
I
you
guess.
go.
Yeah, bookmark those recipes and save them for next year. But yeah, that would be a real treat. Sort of prime the pump for Thanksgiving, so to speak.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Cool.
Sounds neat.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week for the Ocean Spray Cranberry Sauce and the Campbell's Turkey Gravy. So without further ado, Eric, do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share with the listeners?
The closing, rambling, musing, obscure thoughts of E.
You're already beating around the bush. So
Yeah,
that's a good
as
start.
always.
We haven't heard about the comfort box in a
I
while.
We haven't.
saw a quote a couple days ago. It said, "Not only must we be good, but we must be good for something." And I thought that was interesting.
All right.
Because I've recently been harped on about having goals instead of just meandering through life like I have been. So, yeah, it got me thinking about, be good for something. I kind of
Yeah.
like that.
What do you have to be good
I'm
for?
not sure what I'm going to be good for
Yeah, I was going
yet.
to say, what are you going to be good for? That's
no
the better
idea.
question.
No idea.
We talked a little bit. We had a little personal chat the other day, and we were trying to find out, find your why.
Yeah, I
don't
have
think
no
you quite
why.
made it there yet, but I don't know. I'm still have faith that you will find something that drives you and motivates you.
Someday, hopefully. We'll see.
But it's
That's
time
got me thinking.
for Touching Thoughts with Tori.
Touching thoughts with little old me. Well,
Hit us, Tor.
well, thank you for joining us, and I want to wish a happy Thanksgiving to you. Of course, go. We'll finish out this episode, of course. But when you do, turn off Spotify and go spend time with your family. You don't get to see them all that often, and that's important. So go and eat a bunch of turkey and watch your football game and what have you. But all that aside, let's get to the touching thought, shall we? So if you look around and you see a friend of yours, or if you see a brother out there that's struggling, of course it's imperative upon you to ask how they're doing. That is just Touching Thoughts 101. And if I don't see you doing it, I'm going to slap you around.
Ooh.
But that's a veiled threat. Paper tiger.
I don't think it's veiled at all.
There's nothing veiled about it. But yeah, nothing veiled. But the paper tiger is very real. But at any rate, so if you reach out to this friend that you notice is having a visible problem, and it may so happen that this friend, that you can't help this guy for whatever reason, and you may feel bad about that.
Maybe he's a helpless person.
Maybe he is a helpless person. But I think it's important for you to know that that's important, that you put your heart out there and you let them know. So even if they said, hey, really, you can't help. The situation's too complex. I don't necessarily want to involve you, whatever the case may be. Don't take that to heart. Be happy and rejoice in the fact that you can help them if the situation changes, because that could mean a great deal to that person. You may not be able to help, but maybe just be able to listen. So know that that's important. That's important stuff, and that'll do it for our time here. So now it's your time to go out and kill it and destroy it, because we're so proud of you and we love you. And thanks for listening.
Absolutely, and find something else to be thankful for, because we are certainly thankful for all of you listeners that keep tuning in week after week to hear us rant and rave and ramble as we are wont to do. But as always, thank you guys so much for listening. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us on the day of today, Thanksgiving. And as always, we'll catch you next week.
Oh no, it's the end of the show. Thank goodness there's several other episodes waiting just for you. Check out our Instagram. We like to have some fun over there. We post the sauce bottle pics if you're curious, and the occasional meme. That's going to be Sauce Spoken official. Hey, despite our humble nature, we are accepting donations, believe it or not. Look us up on PayPal. That's going to be at Sauce Spoken. Hey, and if you like what you hear, grease those palms, babe. Lastly, roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty at saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have show notes and details. Check it out. Share us with a family member or a friend. If you're enjoying it, I'm certain they will too. Good night.